Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris told an Atlanta audience tonight that she is the underdog in the election 98 days away from now. It was her first visit since Joe Biden stepped aside as the nominee. 11 Alive's Doug Richards reports it on what was a raucous night for Democrats.
By the way,
Kamala Harris's campaign matters. She looks like me and other brown people. Yes, there's historic importance in her getting into the White House.
Kamala Harris stepped on stage as the country's latest, biggest political story. A vice president suddenly elevated to take on Republican Donald Trump in a race she says she could very well lose.
We are the underdogs in this race. We are. But you see, this is a people-powered campaign.
Harris raised record campaign money in the days after her ascent to the top of the ticket. Her backers said there's a reason.
So the dynamic has shifted greatly in the favor of Kamala Harris. This momentum is electric. It's going to carry her to the finish line.
Harris's experience as a prosecutor was a recurring and crowd-pleasing theme.
So in this campaign, I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week.
Leaders of both political parties say that they can win Georgia this fall. Tonight, the Georgia Republican Party chairman told me he expects both Harris and Trump to be stumping a lot in the state over the next 3 months. In downtown Atlanta, Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
Dozens of voters who couldn't make it inside tonight's rally showed their support from outside the venue.
and the security measures really tight now that the vice president was in town here in Atlanta. 11 Alive, Joe Ripley with our 11 Alive political team is live outside Georgia State's Convocation Center. So, Joe, you spoke with voters. How are they feeling tonight?
Well, Ron, they are feeling quite energized. Remember, it's only been less than 2 weeks since President Joe Biden gave his Vice President Kamala Harris the endorsement to top the Democratic ticket. Yet this visit had very much a presidential feel to it. The energy inside spilling outside.
It almost like the room started to lift up off the ground.
Vice President Kamala Harris is back in Atlanta for a 6th time, hosting part concert, part campaign rally.
Here is my pledge to you.
He had a ram in the bush, and that's that ram. It's Kamala.
Roderick Robinson is counting on voters to buy his shirts just as much as these supporters buy into the vice president's message.
She represents the future. Yeah, the other candidates are using old ideas, old policies. We need something new.
Georgia's former Republican Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan passed through crowds and crossed party lines to pledge his support to the future Democratic presidential nominee.
I think in 10 days, this thing went from looked like a landslide for Donald Trump to now it's a break-even race.
Harris's visit caught the attention of detractors.
But it does not change the fact that their policies have failed America for the past 3.5 years, going on 4 years.
But her visit gives hope from the celebrities.
Georgia's on everybody's mind. And that's not just a Ray Charles saying. It means that Georgia is very important in this election.
From the young.
When you make your voices heard, people will follow. People will be passionate about you.
To Ambassador Andrew Young.
I think of those that gave their lives that she might be there. And I think of the young people who are there who don't really know for sure why they're there, but they realize that this is the way history is going and they want to be a part of it.
In response to Vice President Harris's visit here to Atlanta, we heard from the Republican National Committee's co-chair who says in part, quote, her visit is nothing but a performance. The RNC co-chair also called Harris dangerously pro-criminal, soft on crime, and in favor of open border policies, making the country less safe. We're live in Atlanta tonight. Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. And as we mentioned, former President Donald Trump and his vice presidential pick, Senator J.D. Vance, will be back at Georgia State this weekend. Their campaign rally is set for Saturday starting at 5 p.m.